Hey everybody. In this video, I'm going to discuss why no psychic medium is 100% accurate all the time. Anybody that says that is full of baloney. There is no one that is 100% all the time, and I'll explain why. If you watched my previous video about influencing readings, that can be part of the reason why you have to be careful if you respond or ask questions. You don't want to say anything that would influence the psychic medium. They may ask you questions. I do sometimes, but when I ask questions, it's to confirm if what I am seeing makes sense or is relevant or applies directly to you, your life, your situation, what have you. Now, number one, we're human. Self-explanatory. We're not perfect. We're not always 100% right. I have heard there being a range of anywhere from, say, 75% up to 98% accuracy, which I suppose is possible, but anybody that tells you they're 100% right all the time, they're lying to you, because that's not how it happens. Now, some of the other reasons why, we get it wrong is it's like playing charades sometimes. We have to try to interpret what we see, and that's not always an easy thing. For example, if I see a man lifting his hands up, releasing a bird into the air, let's just say, that can mean so many things. Maybe the gentleman raised birds. Maybe it was symbolic of letting go of something or someone. So it could be symbolic, it could be literal, it could be a special particular meaning between them and only one other person, only that they know. There's so many and our job is to do our best to interpret it, because sometimes the messages are subtle, sometimes they are have to be interpreted because we're not sure if they're symbolic. Sometimes it isn't always clear, so that's where that can come into play. We need to make sure that we are rested and don't have a headache, or that we're not feeling well, things like that, because if we try to work when any of that, or even if we're just extremely tired, it can really hinder our ability to do the work. We may not be 100% on our game, in other words. Sometimes people are very closed, not open at all to being read, not letting themselves be read, having a wall up. That does make people harder to read. And I've encountered people like that, and I've even said, you're very, I can feel your resistance, or you don't really want to be here, or you don't want to be doing that. And of course, they may very well deny it, but I know what I feel, and I'm not going to force read someone. I won't do that. You need to come to me. You need to be open and willing to let me do the work. If you're not, I can't help you. And it's not my job. I'm not going to push. I'm not going to force. It's not what I do. Some people aren't ready, and that's okay. Sometimes people just aren't ready. But that can also cause its own problems, because then we're struggling, and it actually is a lot harder. The work is harder when you run into that, when someone just isn't open and said, you know what, I'm willing to receive whatever messages you're going to give me. Please, tell me what you receive. And then the same token, there are people who will be, well, I'm not telling you anything, and almost want to sit back with their arms crossed and just wait for you to. I mean, it's almost like by doing that, it's putting up a wall. It's almost like a challenge, and I'm not gonna fight to read you. I've come across people like that, and they're not ready, or they're skeptical, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being skeptical. You should be somewhat skeptical. Even I'm still skeptical about things. But if you are going to block, and by being open, I mean, just because I'm asking you to be open and willing to receive doesn't mean you have to tell me anything. You just have to, bring the guard down. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna tell you horrible things. If you want the message, you have to come with an open heart and be willing to receive it. And like I said, I have encountered people like that are not ready, and there have been times where I have even refused to read people because I know they're not ready. And I know it would be a struggle, and and if that's the case, I'll say as much. So those are some of the examples as to why we are not 100% accurate. There is things on your part that you can do to make the reading better. Like I said before, try to be as relaxed as possible, sit quietly for a while before your appointment, and just think about who you would like to speak to, what you'd like to know, and just try to be open and just enjoy the messages that you get. So thank you so much for joining me again. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button, and I will see you next time.